Ms. Haley Cunningham, and I am General Counsel here at Bluegrass Community Foundation. We thank you for registering for the 2023 Good Giving Challenge and welcome you back to participate this year. I do want to go ahead and say that we are doing our rules, policies, and procedures required webinar today. You are also welcome to watch this recording at any time between now and October the 1st, when you are required to send in your rules, policies, and procedures signed DocuSign document. So we will go ahead and get started. All right, so Good Giving Challenge 2023. Why do we have extensive rules, policies, and procedures? Well, just like you, Bluegrass Community Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We are regulated by the same Internal Revenue Code laws and regulations, as well as state laws and regulations. And as a community foundation, we have additional requirements that we have to follow under the Council on Foundations national standards for community foundations. And we just feel that this is best practice. We want to make sure that donors who are giving through the challenge to your nonprofit organization can feel that they are doing so in a safe and trustworthy way. So as a reminder, this is a required webinar. There will be a code at the end that you will have to input into your rules, policies, and procedures document. So make sure you're paying attention. All right. Rule number 1. So as you know, the Good Giving Challenge is hosted by Bluegrass Community Foundation, as well as our partners with Smiley Pete Publishing. So as a participant, you have to adhere to these rules, policies, and procedures in order to participate in future years, and to make sure that we can provide you with all of the donations that you raise. It is your responsibility as the participant to participate however you best see fit, including following trainings that are offered by Bluegrass Community Foundation. As you know, our marketing team here, headed up by Lauren Parsons, does a fantastic job of providing webinars, emails with tips and tricks, all of those great things that it is then up to you to participate in. All right, all gifts made to the Good Giving Challenge have to be made on the Good Giving Challenge website, bggives.org, between 9 a.m. November 28th and 11:59 p.m. on Friday, December the 1st, if they are going to be eligible for the Good Giving Challenge. That means eligible to be included on the leaderboard, to be included for matches, potential prizes, all of those things. They have to be given through the website during that time frame. Now, we can take credit card, debit card, ACH check, or if you have donors that have a donor advised fund at Bluegrass Community Foundation, they can also go through their donor advised fund. But we cannot take anything else. No gifts of cash, no stock transfers, no IRA rollovers. None of those things can be accepted through the Good Giving Challenge platform. Now, I want to also say that nonprofits cannot collect checks or other gifts prior to the challenge, so before that November 28th start date, and then hoard all those checks and enter them during the challenge. Do not do that. As you can see, we've got it bold, italics, underlined. We have people that have tried to do this before. Please do not collect checks throughout the year or even just the weeks right before the challenge and try to enter them during the challenge to be qualified. They will not qualify. Now, rule number 3, all gifts must be made by a donor. I know that sounds pretty self-explanatory, but what we mean by this, if you are a participating nonprofit, you cannot donate to yourself or any of your participating programs or entities. So that means if a donor comes to you and writes your organization a check, gives you cash, gives you a gift, you have funds in your operating fund account, you cannot then go on and use your bank account or your work credit card or whatever else that is associated with your nonprofit organization and make a gift to yourself during the challenge. Okay, please don't do that. Also, BGCF, Smiley Pete Publishing, will not, under any circumstance, enter a donor's gift. So please know that donors should not be mailing in checks to the community foundation and asking us to enter them into the system for your nonprofit organization. We cannot enter a donor's gift, okay? Donations are time-stamped and processed when a donor completes checkout on the bggives.org website. The timestamp is based on the platform, not the donor's computer. So I know that we have some time-sensitive matches and exciting challenges and really great ways to boost up your giving through the challenge this year, but please make sure that donors understand that their clock on their computer might be a minute slow, it might be 5 minutes fast. Whatever it says on their computer does not translate into what it says on the platform site for recording the donation. Okay, and we cannot adjust that time. Bluegrass Community Foundation does not have the ability. So if John Smith calls into us and says, my computer says that it was 9:01 when I gave, however, the timestamp shows it was actually 8:57 when he gave, and so it doesn't qualify for the 9 a.m. start prize. We cannot change that. Okay, minimum giving. The minimum gift that we can accept for the challenge this year is $10, and there is no maximum gift. So go out and get those dollars big and small. Every gift made by donors through the website is irrevocable and unrestricted. Okay, so if a donor makes a gift to your organization and then comes back the next week and says, actually, I don't really think that I want to do that, we cannot refund that gift. It is irrevocable and unrestricted. Now, when we say unrestricted, that means that we just send you a check at the end of the challenge made out to your organization, and we don't include any strings to that says you have to use this money in a particular way. However, best practices says that if you as a nonprofit organization encourage a donation for a particular purpose, whether that means you have fundraising pages that have been set up for a particular project or initiative that is going on, or you've asked a donor to give because you're trying to raise money to buy a particular thing or do some type of capacity building, it's up to you as the nonprofit to make sure that you're honoring that donor intent for those purposes. So please just keep that in mind. Okay, endowment prizes. So for any BGCF endowment challenge in the Good Giving Challenge this year, any of that money that's raised through the endowment challenge that's won as a prize is only going to be contributed to a qualifying nonprofit's endowment fund that's held at BGCF. So your nonprofit organization can only be considered qualifying for those endowment challenge prizes if your organization already has an endowment fund at BGCF. Now, if you don't have an endowment fund today, but you've been considering it, your board has had put some money away to think about opening an endowment because you want to be eligible for these prizes, you have until November the 1st to contact me, Haley Cunningham, General Counsel at Bluegrass Community Foundation, to talk about opening up your endowment fund with a minimum of $10,000. Okay, so if you don't already have an endowment and you want to qualify for endowment challenges, make sure you reach out to me so that we can get that fund started and that you have $10,000 to meet that endowment fund minimum by November the 1st. Okay, so donations to the challenge are donations to BGCF. Okay, BGCF runs the platform piece through Neon One. And so we are the nonprofit that receives the bulk distribution from the donations that come in. We then grant out in checks in the aggregate of what was raised to the nonprofit participants at the conclusion of the challenge. Transactions are going to fail. That does happen, whether it's because a donor entered the wrong number on their credit card, or because they entered the wrong number on their bank account, or for any other reason. Transactions do fail. Because of that, it does take a couple of weeks for us to be able to get those checks processed. And final checks to the nonprofit organizations are going to be reduced by the amount of any failed transactions. And then your donation report is going to be updated to reflect that new total. Okay, so if you're looking at the leaderboard on the last day of the challenge, that is probably not going to be the exact number that you get in your check from us once everything is all finalized. Now, please note that this next section is underlined. It's very important. We have nonprofits that do this every year. While you may issue a thank you note to your donors, which we very much encourage, please thank your donors, you should not be issuing a charitable acknowledgement, because the donor is giving through the GoodGiving Challenge at Bluegrass Community Foundation. They are getting a charitable receipt at the time that they make their donation. So as soon as they donate, they get an email that includes information and their charitable receipt. Please do not issue them a second charitable receipt. Just send them a thank you card. Okay, so BGCF reserves the right to review all charitable donations and determine eligibility as qualifying gifts for matches and prizes. We do this. I know that some of you may think we don't look at the thousands of transactions that come in, but we do. We review them to make sure that all gifts are eligible and qualifying for matches and prizes that are awarded. If we find gifts that are in violation of these rules that we've already talked about, you've hoarded a bunch of checks and entered them all in, you're trying to give to yourself, then we may disqualify you from receiving matches and prizes associated with those transactions. And it can result in future disqualification for challenge participation in other years. So please keep that in mind. All donations that are made to the nonprofit are going to be made net of fees. The platform has a combined 5.3% fee per donation. This is a platform fee. Bluegrass Community Foundation, Smiley P Publishing, we do not get any profit from these fees. These fees do not go to us. They go to the platform and for credit card processing, bank administration fees. So that 5.3% fee does come out of each donation. However, donors may elect to opt in to help cover that fee during checkout. So if a donor is checking out and they select the yes option to cover fees, their donation is going to be increased by that 5.3% to offset those fees so that the nonprofit organization gets more of that money in the end. Okay, this is always something that comes up every year. We always have people asking questions about this. Nonprofits should not offer goods or services, including but not limited to, but not limited to dinner tickets, membership fees, admissions tickets, prizes, incentives, any other gifts in exchange or as a reward for a donation to your organization during the challenge. When we issue a tax receipt, just like when you all issue a tax receipt for gifts that come directly to your nonprofit, the included IRS language says that no goods or services were provided in exchange for the gift. So please keep in mind that same rule applies here. If you're saying, but, oh, it's just a t-shirt, oh, it's just whatever, it's de minimis, just please don't do it. Please. And we are monitoring social media. We do see your posts when you do this. And if we don't see it, guess what? Other nonprofits see it and they're calling to tell us about it. Yes, that is true. Other people are seeing your stuff. They know you're violating the rules and they're calling to tell us about it. Just don't do it. All right. So donors do have the option to remain anonymous in their giving. But so long as a donor chooses not to remain anonymous, then you will receive information about their gift, including their contact information, the amount that they gave, the date and time of their gift, and any special instructions. Those special instructions are going to be where donors incorporate in memory or in honor of directives, as well as if the donor is giving because they've been asked to give for any particular program or initiative of your organization and they want the funds to be directed for that use. Okay, if a donor does ask to be anonymous, you are not going to receive any of their contact information. You will only receive the amount, date, and time of the gift. We cannot provide you with donor anonymous information. Okay, we don't even see that. We just see that it's an anonymous gift. All right. Matching. Nonprofits are encouraged to recruit their own match dollars to incentivize giving. So we have matches and prizes available. We encourage you to go out to your board members, your donors, your long-term volunteers, and ask them to also help incentivize giving by providing separate match dollars. These are optional, and they can be made via bggives.org through the challenge or directly to your organization after the challenge is over. So if you have a board member who says, if you raise $5,000 during the challenge, I'll give you an extra $1,000, maybe they choose to wait until you get that check to know that you've met their requirements before they make their gift. That's fine. You can still tell people that you have match money available, but that's not going to show up on the leaderboard, and that's not going to run through the Good Giving Challenge to be eligible for its own additional matches or prizes. Okay, only match payments made on bggives.org by credit card, e-check, ACH will be eligible for prizes and other matching dollars. If a donor chooses, as was described, to give a match payment by cash, check, etc., made directly to your nonprofit, delivered to you personally at your nonprofit organization during or after the challenge, that's not run through the challenge, it's not going to count toward your challenge totals. Okay? BGCF will not include any match prizes in the challenge or leaderboard totals unless they are entered as donations through bggives.org. They will not show up on the leaderboard unless they are run through bggives.org. Speaking of the leaderboard provides a snapshot summary of activity during the challenge. The leaderboard is not what we use to determine the outcome of challenge events, and it may not always reflect real-time reporting on donations made. While ideally the leaderboard updates as donations come in, it doesn't show those failed transactions. It's not going to show the exact amounts and things that you get from matches and prizes. So while it's great to have the leaderboard as a way to generally see what your organization has raised, do not rely on the leaderboard as showing the outcome of what you are receiving from the challenge. Okay, so all of you should have met these requirements, seeing as how you are not getting this webinar until after you have successfully registered. But just as a reminder, participation in the 2023 Good Giving Challenge is required by September 1st to have a guidestar.org gold seal transparency, to be in good standing with the IRS, or fiscally sponsored by an organization that is in good standing with the IRS. If you are an institution of faith, you may only participate for non-secular charitable programming. So, for example, if you are a church and you run a food pantry, you may raise funds for the food pantry so long as you meet all of the other requirements on this list, but we can't raise funds directly to benefit general operations of the church or your faith institution. This next one is new this year. You cannot be listed on the Horizon Forum hate screen. So Bluegrass Community Foundation has some new policies in effect according to the National Standards Council on Foundations that we cannot give to organizations who are on hate screens. So we are not going to give to organizations that are listed by the Horizon Forum as participating in promotion of hateful activities and discrimination. If you have any questions about the Horizon Forum, I'm happy to answer those questions. But as of this time, we expect absolutely no one who is participating in the challenge to be listed there. You must be physically located in BGCF's service area. Okay, so if you have a P.O. box in Lexington or any of our other counties, that alone is not enough. You have to have offices here and be serving here, physical location in our service area to qualify. You have to have all of your information in the bggives.org site. You have to have paid your $500 participation fee. And then here we go, sign and return acknowledgement of rules, policies, and procedures by October 1st, okay? Failure to comply with any of these requirements or the rules as outlined here will disqualify nonprofits from participating in the challenge or from receiving prizes, match pools, and awards, and they may even disqualify you from participating in future GoodGiving challenges. So when we send out our rules, policies, and procedures, it will have all of the rules that I have just gone over, and then it will also have these certifications where you will have to check to certify that you read, understand, and agree to the above rules, policies, and procedures, and that you are participating in the 2023 GoodGiving Challenge subject to these rules, policies, and procedures. You will certify that you have viewed this webinar and that you can provide the verification code. And then there is a blank. Please do not send in the DocuSign without filling in the verification code. The code that you need to enter when you fill out the DocuSigned rules and procedures that will be sent to you is GIVING 23. GIVING 23. GIVING 23. All right, finally, you're going to check that you understand that failure to comply with these requirements or rules may disqualify you from participating, receiving prizes, match dollars, awards, and may disqualify you from future year participation. All right, so now that registration has closed and you have all been successfully registered, an email will be sent to you to the contact that is listed on your profile. So I want to be very clear to you, if the person that's listed as the contact on your profile is not who should be getting emails, update your profile, please, okay? So the email will be sent to you to the contact listed on your profile. It's going to come from DocuSign, okay? So if you get an email from DocuSign, that's what this is. You must review, check off those boxes, enter the verification code, and sign before October 1st. Okay, so you've got a month. It will not take you long to complete reading that document, checking those boxes, filling in that verification code with Giving 23, signing that, and getting it back to me by October the 1st. All right, so as you know, our contacts here for the GoodGiving Challenge, our main contact is Lauren Parsons, as well as our Communications Marketing Associate, Courtney Turner. And you are also welcome to reach out to me, particularly if you have questions about the rules, policies, and procedures, if you have questions about the DocuSign, if you have questions about opening a nonprofit endowment fund, please reach out to me and my email listed there, and I am happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you very much.